Alright, we're back for round 2 with easily keepable hand. Although I do kind of want a bunny growth on a plains, not the forest, so I'm probably not going to throw that down right away. Like, this hand doesn't... The bunny growth is what makes this hand keepable, because this is a Mulda 6th, and that'd be kind of... Well, it'd be keepable as well, but playing a Timberland Guide and then just waiting for Vorse Claw doesn't seem like a very good plan. But considering how slow he was last game, I'm not really worried about going a little slow, and our flyers might just take over. And we drew another forest, so no, I am going to play the bunny growth on the forest just to get it out there turn 1. And drew another plains off that. So that's definitely not ideal, but what can you do? We've got mana for everything, except Archangel. But I'm sure by turn 7 we'll have the 7th land for Archangel, if we happen to draw it. Ew. Well, the tracker seems like a big issue since we don't have many early plays that can deal with it. I'm going to throw the Timberland Guide anyway. Good news is that our Wildwood Geist and our Vorse Claw, especially our Vorse Claw, are big enough that the Umo tracker isn't scary when they come out. So the ideal draw here is Emancipation Angel. I can return Abundant Growth to my hand and cantrip again. Force Mage. I don't really think M1 was a very good indication of what this deck could do, and right on time we drew Emancipation Angel. So it might be correct here to just return Timberland Guide, and then I can throw a counter on Emancipation Angel. Otherwise he's trading a creature for it. Just make it bigger. Yeah, I'm going to do that, because I don't know the turn 4 play right now, so I can't attack with the Timberland Guide into the 3/3, so I think returning it to my hand, hiding it from just getting killed by the tracker next turn and letting me pump up Emancipation Angel is going to be a big game in the long run. Alternatively, if he decides to just trade the Force Mage for the Angel, I'm fine with that too. It takes up his turn. And he did miss a land drop last turn. He drew a Swamp. Blood Artist is not that big of an issue. Tormentor's Trident is, though. Makes it so that he could just equip it and then use the creature equip with it to just trade with any of our guys, which does kind of suck. Might actually give him a way to kill Vorse Claw next turn, or in a few turns from now. Killing it next turn is probably unlikely. And if he draws a land, he could equip the Trident and then trade something for the Wildwood Geist, which looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Which, to be fair, if I'm throwing out my creatures and he's trading with his good creatures, I'm happy with that. He's down to 2 cards in his hand. I still have my Vorse Claw and my Timberland Guide, which is going to make the Vorse Claw an 8/8. Unless I draw like a Seraph of Dawn or something. Seraph of Dawn would be a nice draw. And it's looking like I'm a little psychic right now. I apologize. I'm sure that I'm not. But it's just happening that way. So I will let him eat my Timberland Guide in exchange for a 3/5 Seraph of Dawn. You could just have something huge again here, Pathbreaker Worm. So that makes this play not look as good. Although that does. So I think I'm going to throw the Vorse Claw here anyway, with the hopes that he equips the Pathbreaker Worm with the Trident and then uses it to trade with the Vorse Claw. Because then if he plays out another big creature, like, this may not be correct either, but I will trade the Vorse Claw with Pathbreaker Worm to keep my Seraph alive. He didn't show us many things that could block Seraph last game, so keeping it alive is probably more important than Vorse Claw. And he's going to have them kill it straight up. Alright, I'm fine with that. now he can't attack with the Pathbreaker Worm, and my Timberland guy's going to trade for it. Although, letting the guys get Death Touch trades with the Force Claw anyway, which does suck. Now we're in a situation where we pretty much need to draw. It looks like we're going to need to draw Banishing Stroke to deal with the Movement Tracker. Since we're almost out of big scary things. And that doesn't have Trample, and it's going to get eaten. My Timberland guy is going to get eaten regardless, so might as well let it gain me 6 life first. Yeah. So the Searchlight guys made this really awkward. I'm going to cast this now. I could save it for Homicidal Seclusion. Actually, no, I'm not going to bother casting it now. I'm just waiting in case something bigger comes along. And again, playing both of those out is pretty pointless when he's got the Pathbreaker Worm and they're not going to trade with it. So, we're running out of things we could... Or we're slowly running out of time. So equipping the Trident, and I'm just going to natural end it now. This way I eat mana for it. Maybe eat his turn depending on what he's got in his hand. Oh, he's only got 1 card left, and there's a good chance it costs 5, less than 5. So I guess Archangel would be a really good draw since it would trade with the Pathbreaker Worm. I said drawing Angel Jubilation and throwing Gloomwood out might be probably not good enough. Now this is a nice draw. I can throw out the Thraben Valiant, either, and then hopefully join Assaulted to kill it. Yeah, with any luck, that's what's happening right now. Maybe the card in his hand's Human Frailty. Nope. Alright. If he doesn't have a big creature, we're safe. Slightly safe for now. No big creatures. Alright. So I'll throw Gloom Widow out there. Hopefully he doesn't draw a big creature and just kills Gloom Widow. But that puts me drew a land. So this is putting us both in top decking mode. Make him think I drew a land. Now if you try to flash something in, Gloomwidow swings through the Deathwind to let us take care of any of his creatures in response to the fight trigger from Movement Tracker. And he's paying mana to regenerate it during his main phase. Well, this is just going to be a sad day for him. We could have joined Assault, so we're going to do it for the full amount. It's -8. So, I was hoping you wouldn't have Wolfie Revenger, but luckily we had the Deathwind which could deal with it. But this takes his turn and lets me swing for 3. Gives me an extra draw. But his comment makes me think he definitely had Drone Assault in his hand. And we drew a blank. So, put him down to 6. Hopefully he draws the blank again. We're both blanking and we're on the winning end of it. And just ends his turn and another plains. And so he's got one turn left to draw something besides a blank. Hopefully it can't just straight up beat Gloom Widow. Wildwood, guys, is this worst one? Oh. Alright, so for the time being he's back in this. And he gave us the chance to do it, to go through. I can't really play the Justice here because it's just gonna, both my creatures will just die to Movable Tracker. Rage or Drone Assault. Cloud Chips is basically dead. And cards I have to deal with it include Banishing Stroke and, well, and Archangel, I guess, but yeah, Archangel will just deal with it. Nice and fine. So land is not the answer. So I've got 11 land, he's got 11 land. We're both sort of flooding, and that's just bad news for Tyson. And that's very bad news. So those are just gonna die. Kills one on taps, kills the other. I let him know he's got the tracker. And he's got Blood Artist. Little inclined. And there's my out to Movable Tracker. So this is pretty huge. I can cast this. Play out the Justice here. And the Inquisitor. And now he needs to play another creature, or else I can just tap the guy's trappers, attack with the Inquisitor. Now I'm really happy to see any of my angels Force Mage kind of sucks. Bonds with the Geist Trappers, then that's just going to be very bad news for me. Bond with the Flyer. At this point, given the Force Mage draw, I think we're still just going to be dead. Oh, and there's a Gold Flash. Alright, so I definitely think we're just dead. Maybe an Archangel off the top right now might do it. That's 3 times in 2 games, or 4 times in 2 games I've actually called my draw. And he probably just has removal for it. Or if he's got Human Frailty, it's game 2. Remember, he's got Joint Assault, he's got something. Yeah. Alright, so maybe Archangel off the top wouldn't have been it, but if he's got a pump spell, then nothing off the top does anything. Alright, so now that we know he's got a tracker we don't have an out to, yeah, I have a feeling like boarding into red is just, or do we board into red? I'm gonna make a choice. If we board into red, board into blue. No, I don't think boarding into blue is the way to go. I think boarding into red, or at least boarding into Pillar of Flames. It's good. Again, I think Monarch Cathar is just might be better. Actually, because we lose the Deathwind, which is great against a lot of the other things he's got. So I think just boarding in Pillar of Flames and like splashing both, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think we'll take out the plains and put in a mountain. And this is pretty dodgy, but I think we're gonna do it. All right, back for game 3.